Nobody called it protective. They called it aggressive. A 130-pound Cane Corso planting himself in a doorway at 2 a.m., refusing to move, refusing to back down. But what the parents found on the other side of that door, that changed everything they thought they knew about this breed. The first thing people noticed about Caesar was his size. Not his eyes, though they were the kind of eyes that made you stop mid-sentence. Not his stillness, though he had the kind of stillness that made large rooms feel smaller. The first thing people noticed was that he was enormous, and that enormous felt like a warning. 130 pounds, black coat, ears cropped and standing straight, the kind of dog that cleared sidewalks without trying. Marcus and Jen had owned Caesar since he was 8 weeks old. They knew what he was. They knew what people assumed. Every walk was a lesson in other people's fear. The stroller that crossed the street, the neighbor who pulled her kids close, the delivery driver who left packages at the end of the driveway and never came closer. Caesar ignored all of it. He walked beside Marcus with the calm dignity of something that had already decided it had nothing to prove. Then Jen got pregnant. The comments started immediately. You know you'll have to rehome him. You can't have a dog like that around a baby. What if something goes wrong? I'm not trying to scare you, but... Marcus heard it so many times he started finishing the sentence for them in his head. But I don't trust a 130-pound Cane Corso near something that small. But I've read the statistics. But what if you're wrong? Jen never wavered. She had watched Caesar for 3 years. She knew what lived behind those eyes, and she trusted what she knew. Lily was born on a Thursday in April, 7 pounds, 4 ounces, a full head of dark hair and a cry that filled the entire delivery room. They brought her home on a Saturday afternoon. Caesar was waiting at the door, not jumping, not barking, just standing there, completely still, in the exact center of the doorway. Marcus went in first, then Jen carrying Lily in the car seat. Caesar didn't move toward them. He lowered his head slowly, the way he did when he was processing something important, and he sniffed the air once. Then he took 3 steps back and sat down. He looked at Lily for a long time. Nobody spoke, nobody moved. Then Caesar walked to the corner of the living room, turned in a circle, and lay down facing the car seat, his chin on his paws, his eyes open. He didn't sleep that night, not once. The first week, Marcus kept the nursery door open so he could hear everything. What he heard every time he checked was Caesar, lying in the hallway outside Lily's room. Not inside. He never went inside without being invited. Just outside, present, waiting. By the end of week 2, they stopped checking. I see you're still here but hasn't subscribed yet. Honestly, that breaks my heart a little. Hit subscribe now. You're going to want to see where this goes. Lily grew the way babies do. Fast and then faster. By month 3, she was tracking Caesar with her eyes across the room. By month 5, she was reaching for him whenever he came close, her tiny fist closing around the loose skin of his jowl while he sat perfectly, absolutely still. He never flinched, not once, not even the time she grabbed his ear with both hands and pulled with everything she had. Caesar turned his head slowly toward Marcus with an expression that said clearly, "Are you going to do something about this?" Marcus laughed for 5 minutes straight. By month 7, Lily had a system. Whenever Caesar walked past her bouncer, she made a sound. Not quite a word, not quite a laugh, something in between, and Caesar would stop. Every single time. He would lower his massive head to her level and wait while she touched his face. Then he would continue wherever he was going. It happened 14, 15, 16 times a day. He never skipped it, not once. Stories like this don't get told enough. If this is doing something to your chest right now, you already know what to do. Then came the night in February. Lily was 9 months old. Jen and Marcus had been asleep since 10, exhausted in the way that only new parents understand, the kind of tired that lives in your bones. At 2:07 a.m., Marcus woke up. He didn't know why at first. The house was quiet. The baby monitor on the nightstand showed nothing unusual. He lay still for a moment, listening. Then he heard it. Not a bark, not a growl. A low, continuous sound, somewhere between a rumble and a warning, coming from the hallway. He got up. Caesar was standing in the doorway of the nursery, all 130 pounds of him planted in the center of the frame, completely blocking the entrance. His body was rigid, his ears were forward, the sound coming from his chest was steady and deliberate, like an engine running at low speed. Marcus looked past him into the room. The window above the crib was open, not all the way, just enough. The latch had been faulty for weeks, something Marcus had been meaning to fix. In the February cold, the temperature in the nursery had dropped to 53 degrees. Lily was in a thin sleep sack, no blanket, 9 months old, and the room had been getting colder for hours. She wasn't crying, she was shivering. Marcus crossed the room in 3 steps, checked her temperature, closed the window, and held her against his chest until she stopped trembling. Jen appeared in the doorway seconds later, took one look, and didn't speak for a long time. Caesar hadn't moved. He was still standing in the doorway, still making that low, steady sound, until Marcus turned and said quietly, "It's okay, we've got her." Caesar stopped. He looked at Lily, he looked at Marcus, then he walked to the corner of the nursery, lay down, and closed his eyes. He slept there for the rest of the night. The same dog the neighbors crossed the street to avoid, the same breed the internet calls dangerous, unpredictable, unsuitable for families. That dog stood in a doorway at 2 a.m. and refused to leave until someone came. He couldn't fix it, he couldn't close the window or warm the room, but he could stand there, he could make noise, he could refuse to let the night go unnoticed. And that was enough. Today, Lily is 2 years old. Caesar is 5. She calls him Z, her version of his name, the first word she said clearly enough for both parents to understand at the same time. He answers to it, only from her. Every night, without exception, Caesar does one lap of the house before settling outside her door. Living room, kitchen, back door, nursery. He has done it every single night for 14 months. Marcus has never asked him to. He has never needed to. Some dogs are born knowing what they are. Caesar knew from the first night he spent outside a nursery door, watching over something small and new, and entirely dependent on the world around it to be safe. He took that seriously. He still does. Not every guardian wears a uniform or carries a badge. Some have 4 legs, a black coat, and eyes that don't miss a thing. Trust the ones who show up before you even know you need them. Would you have trusted a 130-pound Cane Corso alone with your 9-month-old, or would the size have been too much? Tell me in the comments.